Alrighty, are we live? Yes, we are. Oh my gosh, today we've got a topic for you. You know, some people say you can go with the light side. Some people say you can bet with the dark side. But what about these people who try to stay on both sides of the fence? 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the shore. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's hedging, and it's coming up right now.
Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Whether you're a seasoned player or a beginner eager to step up to the table, this is your lucky podcast that's all about the thrill and strategy of the casino world. I'm your host, Jeremy. With me is Jim the Professor. Let's get rolling. Well, Jim, we're back for another exciting one.
Yes.
We had some technical setup that I think we got through.
We got through it all.
We made it. We should be live on all these different platforms and ready to rock and roll. So how was your week?
It was a great week. First full week of school. Our first 2 weeks were 4 days each, and then last week was a 5-day. Had a big all-school assembly football game on Friday night, which we won, and then the big thing for me today was I played soccer today. My soccer team won. We're 2-0 in the OTSL VB over 50 league, and I played great. If I did, give myself
there you go. Okay, MVP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was very good. How about your week? What'd you have going on? A lot of videoing, or what'd you do?
Editing, trying to get ahead of things. Because I like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I followed my kid around Northern California, Stockton, and she had multiple. Yeah, don't even listen to that. It's multiple volleyball games and that sort of thing, and see, that's what I did. Although we have to mention football.
Yes, we do have to mention football because your team won, right?
It did, but yours sadly
lost, and we lost a quarterback.
That poor guy. I mean, what do you think about that? So he got another concussion.
Yes, and maybe I'm, with the wisdom of a 57-year-old man, but I think he needs to hang it up. I'm sure he's got some insurance, he's got some money, and I think he needs to go ahead and just hang it up. So
that's got to hurt for that team because they were.
Stinks.
Who's your backup, right? I mean, they were totally relying on this guy to be
Skyler something. But yeah,
I mean, he's a franchise quarterback. Like, you can't just move on from him that easily.
I think you have to for health's sake. I mean, what are you going to see him carried off, and he's going to be in a home the rest of his life? He's got a family and everything else. He has a propensity. Thank you, Skylar Thompson. Thank you, Gio. And hey, Demon Dog. Yeah, you got to do it for his own health's sake, for his family. Somebody, his wife, his mom and dad, whatever. And the other thing is, when he went and dove head first, he had already had the first down yardage. He should have just, backed it up. Did the
it wasn't smart by him. But I just wondered, like, I saw scrolling across the bottom of the screen today that he is not going to retire.
I did see that.
And I mean, like, I get it. Like, that's your life. Like, what else are you going to do? As long as you wait, I don't know how long he's going to be out, a few weeks, a year, I guess your brain doesn't really recover. It's just, it is what it is from going forward.
He has a propensity to have
the year before he was a mess.
And he's going to keep having them. I just don't see how you can do it.
But whose decision should it be? Is the NFL and Dolphins get to say, "Bro, you're done," or does he get to decide for himself? Like, can I have one more? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Can the NFL afford to have him wheeled off, and then because we had all this stuff about concussions and stuff everywhere anyway, and they had everybody going after him a couple years ago, and that's kind of subsided a little bit.
Yeah, they changed multiple rules because of him.
Yes, the kickoffs right now are definitely one of the big things, the collisions on those. But even still, I think either he has to do it, they put the squeeze on him, or it's a medical doctor decision that's going to say something like, "Hey, look, guy, we recommend that you can't do it, and you're on the physically unable to perform list," or something like that. And then he gets a check, and then he goes on with his life, and maybe
I would hope
team.
I would hope he at minimum gets a check, because I'd feel bad if they're like, well, now we get to void your contract somehow. Or I understand they shouldn't have to pay him the whole thing necessarily, unless I don't know, whatever guaranteed contract.
Well, my guarantee is a guarantee, right?
Right. So, but if it's guarantee and then some outside source says, I don't know why.
Yes.
I'm going to turn
Thank
myself.
Thank you, shooters,
Yeah.
Scraps.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. It should be fine. I'm going to bring myself down and you turn your overall volume up because I think I'm
Should
too
I turn
loud.
anything? Is
There's
there
nothing
anything
you
for
could
me?
do. No,
Okay.
It should be sending out normal.
And I'm eating the microphone.
Yeah.
It's
I don't.
Weird.
I'm pretty sure my output settings are the same
let
as.
me go look on my settings. Make sure the mic didn't change to the.
Yeah, because we were doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so one of the Browns players today had one of those like bubble practice helmets on during the game.
Oh, really? Maybe that's what he needs.
Yeah, and I mean, I know some guys were saying, "Hey, I'm not going to wear it. It's not cool looking," and it's not. It's not cool looking at all.
No.
Sounds good. So it is like. It is weird to see him with like, it almost looks like he has like a Lego helmet. It's just extra giant padding, but I don't blame him. I guess you got to do what you got to do. You don't want to end up like Tua. So what, I mean,
yeah, it's time to,
it will look weird.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I don't know.
And it was so cool watching him do the offense with all the little fake moves. It was almost like basketball meets football. And I love the whole thing, but
he was a fun player, but it's a sad situation for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, they kind of messed up. They let it go too far when, I guess 2 seasons ago, right? When they
had those 2 back to back and they let
him play. That was probably
and that kept, each one you have, I think you have a propensity to have another one there. So, anyway.
All right. I think most people are saying it sounds good. So,
okay. Well, that's good. Thank you, guys.
I appreciate the feedback. It is helpful because, we're only like 16, 17 weeks into this. But we've been today is the first.
Yeah, we're
right.
150. We're going to have it nailed down.
This is the first week on this particular software because I just got so frustrated with the support and help from the other ones. So Tua should retire. Okay. Not that this is a football podcast, but it's really, why not? We talk about whatever we want here.
There you go. It's your thing. So make it happen.
Well, I think we should get to the topic.
Let's do it.
That we announced we're going to talk about, and then maybe we'll get back to football if you guys want to talk about that. So,
in the monster roll.
Yeah, in the monster roll. So, you do have a couple Facebook viewers, Jim. So whether they're commenting not yet, I haven't seen yet.
Okay,
yeah, that's what the stats say. So,
okay,
I don't know. Shout out to Jim's followers.
Oh yeah, both of them.
So how do we start this topic on hedging?
Well, let me just ask you.
Yeah.
How do you define hedging? What is hedging? What is it for the actual? If you're a newbie and you don't know what hedging is, just hey, what do you tell them?
It's boy, I never really thought about the definition. I guess it's a bet to lower your risk. It's
Now, is it really that? Would you really say that?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Let's talk through this. I don't know how to.
Well,
It lowers the risk on a bet that you're trying to hedge. I could give examples. I just don't know how to describe.
So how about this?
Really.
Is it like, say you had $100 out there total on the table, and it's whatever roll, and you made an additional bet of, let's say, $10 to quote unquote protect or hedge against losing the 100 all at one time.
Right.
And if whatever number you're hedging toward, that's not a good way of saying it.
It's like, so you bet on the opposite outcome.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah. So, right. If your bet's on the numbers, and obviously the numbers lose with a 7, if a hedge would be to bet on the 7.
Okay.
Because that would be the hedge. It would be the opposite. And what it does is, well, shoot, if I have you said $100 out on the numbers. If I roll that 7, I'm going to lose $100. Well, if I now bet on the 7, depending on how much I bet, I'm not going to lose 100. Well, I will. I'll lose the 100, but I'll win some with the 7, bet on the 7, this hedge bet.
Right. Okay.
So I don't, I don't know of a succinct and precise way to define this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess it's betting on the opposite outcome
Of what you're betting on.
Yeah, to reduce your overall risk. And the problem is now you're introducing or adding new additional risk.
Right.
Because
and you're also, what else are you doing? You're limiting
your win potential.
your win, right? On so if you're limiting the amount of money you're going to lose, why not just bet less?
That's a good question. I think the way to go through it might be to talk through some examples. I don't know if that's the.
Well, we
could go through some of the most popular hedges, but yeah, I mean, anytime that you reduce your overall risk, but now you've added risk to another number, and then you're reducing your win potential. So yeah, maybe I don't know. I mean, that's the discussion. Are you better off just making a smaller bet in the first place? Is hedging good or bad? That's what we've got to decipher today.
All right,
and figure out the answer.
Hey, we got a good comment. I know we're not
okay,
but we could use some help. Here it is, right here. This is the one I want. Demon Dog. Reduce the likelihood of a large loss, but limits your earning potential. That's very succinct. I like that.
Yeah, he did a good job there.
Yes. So let me get off of that. So let's. You want to go with the hedging good or bad first, or which way do you want to go with this? Well, let's deal with the common. Let's deal with the basic bet.
Yeah, let's do some examples.
All right. So what is the most basic hedge that you could think of?
I think where everyone starts is they make a pass line bet.
Pass line. Let's do it. All right.
So we know that it wins with a roll of 7-11.
7 or 11.
Which behind you, it says there's 8 combos to win. The other way.
Something like that. I'm sorry.
6 combos with the 7, 3 with the 11. 8 ways to win.
Right.
But you lose this bet with 2, 3, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 4 ways to roll those, 4 different combinations.
So you have a 2-to-1 advantage on the first roll.
Huge advantage. And really the only time you have the advantage. But people don't like to lose that bet. So they don't like to lose it to the 2, 3, and 12, which is a craps bet. So they make any craps bet or a C bet, or they bet them individually, the 2, 3, and 12. There's kind of a lot of different ways, but essentially they hedge this pass line bet with a craps bet.
Okay. Now, there's a difference between those two bets, correct? And the biggest difference would be the longevity of the bet. The casino knows that any craps bet is a 1-roll bet, and the pass line stays until it's resolved.
Right.
So you get one shot at the 2-to-1 advantage, and then for the rest of the rolls, they have the big advantage. Right.
So let's just say they play any craps. It pays 7-to-1.
Okay.
And I don't. What table are you at? A $15 table?
Let's go 15.
$15 table. So you make a $15 pass line bet. The very first, you can win. We love the ways to win, but you can lose with 2, 3, and 12. So to hedge that, you throw, $1 would win 7. So that's not going to cover it. So you could throw $2 in, which would win 14.
14
almost covers it. You could put $3 in, and then it would win 21. I don't know. So it's kind of up to you.
Or you would just lose $3.
Yeah. So the idea, So the ideal is, hey, I can't lose because if the craps number does show up, my bet on the craps wins. Let's say we do $2. Yeah, I lose 3 rolls. I lose my $15 pass line bet, but I win 14. So I'm out $1. So it's worth it, they would say, to bet $2. Because that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, right? You roll any number, or you win 7-11. but your craps bet loses and you're out $2. So you go, well, is it worth throwing away $2 to protect that bet?
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. If you think about it percentage-wise, again, $15 table, and you're throwing out $3 for one roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, what, 20% of your $15 bet that you're hedging with. 1/5, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me just adds to puts the pressure on that you have to win more to get that 20% back.
Well, for sure. I mean, if you look at the math, this is a math game. If you look at long-term math, it's just a bad idea. For one, you're making a hedge bet with a higher house edge bet. You know, you go from 1.4 on the pass line to, the craps is like, 11 or 13%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make sense. And over time, you're going to burn through that more than just how many times. Because remember, you're only going to lose out of every 36 rolls, you're only going to lose your $15 pass line bet 4 times.
Okay.
So mathematically, long term, it doesn't make sense to hedge.
Okay.
But you're not doing it on every roll. It's like I'm doing it for one roll. So I throw up my $3. My pass line establishes a bet. I'm not going to I don't have to hedge anymore. So hopefully at that point, I can roll numbers. I'm in the game.
Right.
I protected the bet for the one roll. And now I'm in the game.
All right.
I mean, that's how people look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you make the bet and the 3 rolls,
you look brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Why would you make the $3 bet? Because now you've won 21. Yeah, you've lost your $15 pass line, but you've won. So brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
But 32 out of 36 times, that bet's not going to do anything for you except for lose. It's just going to be an automatic.
All right.
Loser.
So that's a basic example. And by the way, I did see one of my Facebook buddies on there.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. So I just want to throw a former student from years gone by. Instead of betting less, set a win limit. That's a good philosophy. All right. So that's the basic one, right? Now there's other scenarios where people hedge.
Yeah, tons of them, really.
Yeah. So let's roll through a couple more of those and see if it is worth the squeeze on the juice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's think about a couple of those. So I can think of one time when you absolutely should hedge.
Should. That's a strong word.
There's one. Yeah, absolutely should hedge. Can anybody want to guess what it is? It's a can't lose bet, guaranteed bet. When you're hedging, you're 100% hedging, and you are guaranteeing a win, a victory. Anybody want to guess what that one is? Nobody's jumping on it.
I mean, I would guess that it would be a don't. It would be a don't number.
Hey, no. Tom and Demon Dog got it. Tom was the first.
Okay, I totally disagree
first.
with this, by the way, but go ahead.
Okay, so here we go. So let's see if the professor's wrong on this one. So if you are at a casino where they have the ATS, the all tall small, and let's just say you've got 555 across the top, and it's 30. What is it? 150, 30, and it's about $1,000, $1,100, whatever it is, right? It's right around $1,000 if you win them all, right?
Okay.
All right. So you with me?
Yeah.
So you got one box number left.
Yeah.
It is the 6, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody in the casino is not talking about Fight Club, but it's right there. If the shooter rolls a 6, I win $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
If he rolls a 7 or she rolls a 7, I don't win anything.
Well, you've won the tall already.
Right,
no,
so
you've won the small. You've won the small. That you've already locked that in. Some casinos have already paid that out, actually.
All right, so I've won I'm guaranteed 150. or if
Wait, is
I
it
go
smaller?
ahead and hedge, I could drop 500. What do you think? Is that math good? Guaranteed $1,000 win versus $150 win by hedging 500.
It's
get
part of
half
the
my money
small.
back.
So you've hit your
Yeah,
tall
yeah.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, hit the
Okay.
tall. Yeah, that's what we're
Okay.
saying. So wouldn't that make sense if you can guarantee $500? Wouldn't you want to hedge in that situation?
How much does it cost to hedge you? You have to lay against the 6 for how
Sure.
much?
Let's just say $500 or 450 or whatever it is. Let's say $500 if you want to get that 150.
Okay, so you stand to win the small and the all, which would be $900.
And you get all tall and the small.
Right. Well, you've already hit the tall, so you get 150.
Yeah, 150 and 150.
You're going to earn
Another 150.
another 150 and 750
and
if you hit the 6. So you're going to earn 900.
No.
You're going to Yeah, you've already locked in
it's
150
1,050, right? It's 1,050.
to hit them all.
Yeah, to
Right.
hit them all.
You've locked in 150.
Well,
Now
locked
the
in
question is, if I roll the 6, I get an additional 900 because I'll get paid for the
Right.
small
Okay.
and the all.
Yes. Okay, I'm with
So
you.
900.
Right. So
that's
you should
what's-
lay
that's what's up.
450. Yeah.
So you're going to lay 450 to get paid back how much?
450.
So how much do you have to lay for that? It'd be 6 to 5, 5 to 6.
Oh yeah, hold on now. Ho.
How much do you want to win if you roll the 6, or if you don't roll the 6? If you roll the 7, you don't make the small, tall, and all. You're not going to get paid 900,
Right.
but you're going to get paid on that lay 6. How much do you want to get paid?
I want to get paid guaranteed money. Let's say $400.
All right, 400.
Do I have to lay 8 to get that 4? Is that what you're saying?
You have to lay 6 to get 5, right? So
Oh yeah, here it is behind me. Yeah, 6 to 5.
1.2. So 400 times 1.2. I'm not going to count the VIG.
Yeah.
So you have to essentially lay 480 to win 400.
But it's guaranteed 400.
Mhm.
And I get my
Guaranteed.
480 back.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't I? Because if I don't lay it, right? So hedging could be potentially be a good thing.
No, it could always be potentially a good thing. But you're giving up $500.
Or well, hold on, you say I'm giving up, but what if 7 rolls I don't get it?
All right. Yeah, you'd be giving up $900. Yeah, you would not win $900. If the 6 rolls you win 900, the 7 rolls you don't win $900.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't you rather have one in hands better and 450?
I don't know.
That's
That's the question, right? So that's the same question when you go back to pass and craps. If the craps number rolls, you would rather have that craps bet out there, right? Because you're guaranteed protection. You're guaranteed the win. If you don't have that bet out there, see, you're thinking but it's the same scenario. It really is.
All right.
'Cause you're
it doesn't
starting
seem
as-
like it to me. Maybe
I know.
because the number's larger.
It is. It's you got you have essentially like a $900 bet. It's like if the 6 rolls, I win 900. If the 7 rolls, I don't win $900. It's like a bet. It's like a free bet, promo bet, whatever you want to call it. But that's the gamble, right? Do you want to win 900? Do you want to win 0? Or you throw in the craps bet. You throw in the hedge bet. I'm going to pay 480. I'm going to bet 480. Okay. So if you bet 480 and the 6 rolls, well, now you only win 420.
Oh boy. Yeah, I with me, I've been in that position. I never do it. I never hedge because
We went right for the big topic, by the way. There's smaller
yeah,
hedging,
I'm sorry.
but a lot of people have this question because this is when the discussion is primarily people talk about hedging. They go, well, what about the ATS? So it's a great discussion, but yeah. So now if you do bet the 480 and it loses,
you limit
well, now
your
you're
win
yeah,
potential.
you limited your win to only 420 instead of 900. Well, you're talking about one dice combination. So do you want to lock in the 400, or do you want to go for 900?
Well,
if you lock it
in practice,
you only win 420.
I never lock it in. I always go for it because I'm hoping for the best, the positive vibes. I've never done it.
Yeah.
But and I would say more often than not, I think I've won doing that, but sometimes no. But then again, if I've lost, I've only lost
480.
Yeah, exactly. And
You've only instead of winning 900, you win 420. That's it.
420. Yeah, and I'm still a winner in my book.
Yeah. You just won 420.
Yeah. So
and the other way, if the other number runs, you win 400. So you can't lose, right? So that's where people are like.
So that's the only to me that's the only time you should do it.
But
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing on the pass line. It's like when people make their any craps bet, they're like, I can't lose.
Well,
you know what I mean? So I don't know, but
you can't lose, but you can lose $3 or whatever it is. You know, when you do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
but
that's like saying, well, you're going to lose 480. If the 6 rolls, you're going to lose 480. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's part of the hedge bet. It's the cost of the hedging.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's certainly a decision. Some people talk about, hedge it. And for me, I'm like, you're already there. Just go for it. Like,
okay.
But for me, I'm not betting 5-5-5 to start with. I mean, I'm usually like 1-2-1 or 2-1-1 or, just because I'm a cheapskate, or 1-1-1, and then the dealer's 1-1-1. So I'm only looking at, $150.
Okay.
So it's not like, I think mentally the numbers do play a difference. You're like, dang, $900 or nothing. Yeah. And that's where you're like, all right, so I throw in 480 and I'm guaranteed 400 or 420.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think some of it depends on how much you've lost already.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Where you stand on that.
So it's like, do I want to guarantee 400 or 420, or do I go for it? 900 or nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, your odds are pretty good at 6-5, right?
Oh yeah.
You're right there. It's almost a coin flip,
even. Almost even, but not.
And how exciting is it when it hits and you didn't throw out 480? It's like, sir, you just hit them all. $900 coming your way. How much better is that than being like, sir, you didn't, but your 480 bet wins you 400.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's nice. Everyone else lost, right?
At the end. Some of them pay it out at the end. So you might get, well, everybody
400 plus your 150.
Yeah. 150. Yeah. From the other side and all.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the big one. I didn't mean to go right for the headshot.
No, it's good. It's good. But that one is a decision, but I think you're twisting it because it's not either or. Because
it's not a pure.
No, because I would say, like, if you're on the don't, because some people would say, okay, you make a don't pass of $25, the point becomes 9. Well, if you make a $20 place bet, you can't lose. If the 7 rolls,
then
you lose the $20 place bet and you win 25. Cool.
Right.
So you're up positive $5. If the 9 rolls, you lose your don't of 25, but your $20 pays 28. Can't lose. Yeah, the problem is, yes, you're guaranteed a $3 or $5 payout, but the problem is,
right. So is that sustainable? Yeah.
Well, it's the same math. It's like, except for instead of 25 and 20, now it's like 900. It's like, well, you're going to bet 480.
Right. Okay.
It's the same thing because you're like, well, I guaranteed my winner. You did, but you limited because your don't pass should win 25, but now you took that guaranteed or that 25 likely win, and now you've cut it down to $3 or $5. So if you hedge your ATS, you've cut your $900 win down to 420 max. Like
now, this one, I know we're not talking necessarily comments, but this was one that I wanted to bring up, and I know it's not the monster roll, but he says he heard it. Shooter Crap says he heard it was a good bet when you bet on the first bet, and then it's a great bet when you only need it, the one time. I guess that's for that come out roll to protect your box number money if you're working or something. That kind of thing is what he's talking about. But I don't know. That to me, when you hedge on a pass line bet, to me you're giving up your 2-to-1 advantage. Or you're giving up your...
Well, you're cutting into the potential profits. It's just like the ATS. See, it's the same thing. You're cutting in that $900 win. You're cutting into that, what's your bet, $25 on the pass line? You're cutting into that $25. Why do that? Well, in case, just in case.
You gamble. Yeah, you're going to gamble.
Yeah, so it's just funny, depending on the levels. Okay, Jim, you got a $100 pass line bet. You're bumping up in stakes.
Woo.
You interested in hedging it a little bit? What if I said, well, now you're bumping up to a $500 pass line bet. It's only going to cost you, a small percentage of that.
Yeah, but I guess because
for one roll, you're protecting it for one roll.
Jeremy, I can't do this kind of stuff on a fantasy craps table, and you're jumping me up on a $500.
Well, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying that because of the bigger numbers, it affects you more.
It plays your mind. Yeah. It would.
So
I don't know.
Because it hurts. It hurts more. The math says, hey, don't do it.
But it stings.
But I mean, and then again, like we mentioned earlier, you look like a genius if you did it.
That's true.
So what other hedges we got? So we've got...
You got the pass line and don't pass. How about the do we don't people, Yeah,
I don't hear about that all that much. It is a hedge. It's a more expensive hedge, but you cover a lot more numbers. So once you do a do we don't, which is the same amount on the pass and don't, the only way you can lose is a 12. So you've narrowed it down to one dice combo. But there's really no, people do that because they hate losing on the first roll. They want to get into the game.
Right.
The weird thing about it is 33% of the time, 1/3 of the time, the game is over on the come out roll, right? You're gonna win or lose or establish a point. You're gonna win or lose though, a third of the time. So
because those
game's resolved.
Yeah, those combinations add up to
12 combos.
Yeah,
out of the 36, you're gonna win or lose. So that's why people are like, a large percent of the time, a third of the time you're going to win or lose. And people are like, I don't want my game to be like that. So they'll do an any craps or they'll do a do we don't just so they can get a point established and then they're in the game, right? And they feel like the game could last longer.
You could last longer. You protect.
But the odds are still the same because now you can just lose, 1 in 6 rolls, right? But they just hate they hate the game being one roll, and that's what it is on the come out roll.
For the good or the bad.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people do a do don't. I don't see that or hear about that as much anymore. I do see a lot of, and I do this sometimes for particular reasons,
on the cruise,
which is the cruise, because I don't care about earning money. I care about time. And so what a hedge does, yes, it does limit your losses, but it also limits your potential win, but it limits your losses a little bit and you can tread water longer. So a lot of strategies I'm seeing lately, people start out on the don't pass and then they make, let's just say $100 don't pass. And then once a point's established, then they maybe bet $100 on the numbers. And that way, if they can roll some numbers, they can make money. And if the 7 rolls, yes, you lose your $100 in place bets, but you win on the don't.
Right.
So I see a lot of strategies submitted to me lately that include this type of hedge, the don't pass hedge.
But even with those don't passes, when you talk about the pass line bet, even with a don't pass and don't come, that 1/3 still follows through, and that's
yeah,
what I think
and
a lot of
that's a huge underdog. So opposite of the pass line where you're 2-1, well, they eliminate the 12, so
Right,
now
to push.
you're a 3-8 underdog.
Yes.
So it's very likely you're going to lose that bet.
It's
And so now what do you got to do, Jim? You got to hedge your
some more.
hedge. Yeah, you hedge some more.
a rehedge.
So you lose if the don't loses against the 7-11. Now you're making hop sevens or any 7 bet. You're covering the 11, the yo.
yeah.
You're hedging your hedge. Yeah.
Yeah, $2. And
You
what's
get-
another $2?
What's
Yeah,
another
$2?
2? You're hedging your hedge. Your hedge. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. There's a lot of hedging going on.
Mhm.
And then how about the other hedge with covering like the hard ways? Let's talk about
Yeah,
some
there
people
you go.
hedge with the hard ways. Cut down a couple of combinations with that.
real popular bet is like a lay 10 or lay 4 bet, right? So you're
Right.
betting against the number. You're betting then a 7 comes before the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those pay 1 to 2. So $100 bet on the 4, you win 50.
Okay.
If the 4 rolls, though, you're going to lose 100. But people like this bet because there's only 3 ways to roll the 4.
Right.
But if we bet on the hard 4 and hedge it,
That's one of those 3.
right? What is it? Is it 9-1 or 7-1? I forget which one the 4 is.
My table 4 is 7-1 on a 4. 7.
Okay, so to win 50 some bucks, you got to bet like $8, $8 hedge.
Yeah.
So
Eight
$8 eliminates that combos. But if the hard 4 comes, then you win 56. No, you'd have to hedge more because you got a potential loss of 100. So you'd have to bet like 15
Yeah.
would win.
$10 would win 70.
That'd win 105.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to bet 15
And
to
you
protect
still have
that leg.
You still have the potential of having the other combinations roll of the 4.
Yeah, so you've eliminated from 3 combos down to 2, but they could still lose.
Right.
And then if you do roll the 3-1, not only do you lose your $100 bet, you lose that
The hedge.
$15 hard way
Yeah.
bet too. It's hard way.
So salt into the wounds. and
Yeah,
twisting
I
the
mean,
knife.
it's always a gamble, but people are like, I'll take my chances because the 7, there's 6 ways. If I do the 4, there's 3, and if I hedge it, now there's 2. There's only 2 ways to lose my money.
Mm-hmm.
So people just, they like that dice combination game.
Yes.
Mathematically, now you got an 11% bet over there. A lay bet's actually a good bet. If the VIG's only on a win, I think it's in the 1% range. So that's a good bet. But if the 3-1 or the 1-3 rolls, it's a bad bet.
Right.
If the 7 rolls, hey, you're in good shape. Or, if the hard 4 rolls, you're in good shape. But if only we could see the future. But that's what hedging comes down to. Is like, because somewhere you're going to get bet. No matter, even with a hedge of a hedge,
Yes.
you're going to get bet. So you're shuffling the risk around to different numbers. And that comes down to like, a lot of times it's like personal experience. I know I talked to Holy Roller. He's the big craps guy who likes to do the big don't pass hedge. He never hedges it. Sometimes he does it with free play, but he doesn't like it just because he doesn't feel like he gets knocked off on it. And other people are like, I always hedge it because I always get knocked off on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like your history in your mind, some confirmation bias there also tells you like, well, I rarely see the 10, so I might as well put a hedge on the 10 or it kind of leads your decision, I think.
One of the things that we had on here was we talked about psychological comfort versus financial efficiency. It is the psychology of having $100 out there and feeling like you can do something to lower the risk or lower the chances of you just blowing that whole thing away, and it's only going to cost you 15% of the $100 or whatever. I don't know. To me, if you're going to gamble, you just gamble. And
until you get to a $900 ATS, and then you're not willing to gamble, Jim.
No, I need that sure money because I got to have an Uber home or back to the hotel or whatever.
Right.
No, I don't know. But even then, I talk a good game, but I don't do it.
It's because you're that mind game. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that comfort levels. You're like, man, I can walk away. Why walk away with nothing when I can walk away with $400?
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, but for whatever reason, I see some people do it. But again, it might get down to your personal session at that time. And I know somebody else, I think it was Demon Dog, said, hey, when you leave with more money at the end of the hand than you came in, then it's a win, right? I think that's that was one of his comments earlier. So you want to leave with more money. I mean, that's the objective of the game, right?
So So the question is, if you hedged and it protected those potential losses, maybe you decrease your overall win, but you still walk away with a win. But if you don't hedge, maybe you have a bigger win, maybe you lose it all. Like, I guess it's just kind of personal. Let me ask you let me try to bring this another way.
Okay.
How many times, or have you ever totaled your car?
Well,
and had like insurance cover it and pay for it and stuff.
A couple times with my son and my wife when they were driving. Yes.
How much do you hate paying insurance premiums?
100%. 100%. Right,
because it's like.
And then when you get down to it, well, I remember one time they said, hey, it's I objected to the amount of money they were going to give me for the total replacement, and they said, well, it's going to be $4,000, and we see these used cars all over the place for $4,000. I said, really? I said, you see them? Bring one in my driveway, and you don't even have to. Yeah. Just pull it up into the driveway and just give me the keys, because what they're offering is never what I can get in the marketplace. So
for sure.
I hate paying it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a great analogy because, a lot of people have had bad experiences with insurance companies because their goal is not to pay out. Right. So,
right. That's what they do.
And then,
like the casino.
The casino, their goal is not to, but begrudgingly, the math is the math, and they have to pay out the hedge, whatever it is. They can't like renegotiate with you and be like, I know that the NE7 pays 4-1, but today, we only see it as a value of 3-1 or something. You know what I mean? So, but the point I was trying to make is like, once the kid totaled it, and you didn't have to come out of your pocket for $4,000.
Right.
You're like, oh, kind of glad I had insurance, I guess.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, it sucks. And for people who, like, I haven't had an accident 10, 20 years. It's like year after year after year, I'm paying it. Like, I hate hedging this policy.
Yeah.
Because it never pays off. But like, if I was constantly using it, I'd be like, heck yeah, I want insurance because I know next week my kid's going to crash my car again.
Yes.
Like, of course I'm going to. So your past history, I think, that psychological plays a lot into it. It's like, my wife is a terrible driver. My kid's a terrible driver. Yes, give me all the insurance you could give me, because those yahoos are going to screw me if you don't. So
I wish
it's insurance. Hedging is insurance, and
it's self-insuring.
Yeah, it's great when it works. It's a waste of money when it's not needed.
Yeah, when you don't. Every month that you put out that you don't make a claim on it, and you never get back what you. Actually, the analogy holds true. You never get back what you have already put out, and what's the value of the car at that particular moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, they have great mathematicians that always keep the rates just above, so they don't lose money. They're making. Joe said this one.
Okay.
Auto and homeowners insurance provides peace of mind. You never want to have a homeowner's insurance claim.
Absolutely.
So that's what people are like. I want peace of mind. I don't want to worry about losing my past line bet.
Psychological comfort.
$3 any craps bet, peace of mind. I don't have to worry about it. I'll let it establish a point. Hey, game's on. Little peace of mind, $2, plenty worth it. It's up to you, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Is that insurance worth it to you for that peace of mind? Because you could still get burnt. I mean, for one, the hedge loses and the point's established to a 5, and then you immediately 7 out, and now your pass line bet loses. Well, now you've lost the pass line and the hedge. You've lost the insurance. You lost everything.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like the don't. You go, well, now you got to hedge the 7-11. Okay, so let's say the 5 rolls. Well, now all my hedge is lost, and then the 5 rolls back. I roll the point. Now I lost my don't. What the heck? I'm losing every which way.
Exactly.
So you're shifting things for peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that for peace of mind, that's psychological comfort.
Yeah, peace of mind. I think
100%
psychological
on that one. Can you think of any other real life scenarios that we haven't covered?
We talked about the don't. We talked about the pass line. The big one is the 4 and 10, which people kind of use as a hedge. The ATS is the big one.
ATS is a big one. How about anything with the couple of your strategies that you mentioned, like you switched I remember one you had where it switched from 7 being the bad number to you switch the risk to the 5. You remember that one? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it was like an iron cross or something.
Like an iron cross thing, and instead of
it's the same thought process as the 4 and 10. So essentially you have to make a bet. You lay on the 4, right? So if you make a big enough lay bet that wins with the 7, but you don't want the 5 to roll. So now you've moved the risk from the 7 to the 5. It's the same thing. If you make a lay bet on the 4, you've moved the risk from the 7 to the 4. The difference is the payback, right? The payback, unfortunately, on the 4 is only 1 to 2. So you got to bet more. The 5 and 9, the payback is 2 to 3. So
there you go.
You bet 75 to win 50.
Yeah.
If you make a don't pass, the great thing about it, if you get past that first roll, it pays 1 to 1.
Right.
So you're like, yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it. And that's why it has a low house edge, and, a lot of people do it, but you got to get past that roll. But yeah, certainly dice combos, the 7's always 6. So a lot of people like to, hey, let me move it to a number that has less ways to roll. It costs me more.
Right.
It will cost you more, but no, there's less combinations if you move it to the 5 or the 4.
Mm-hmm. Demon Dog's throwing it up. 6, 7, 8 might have been the name of it, I guess.
Mm.
And we got some other ones that I think we'll talk about during the monster roll with Joe on that one. I guess it boils down to if you're playing to win big or if you're just trying not to lose as much, but it's definitely limiting what you've got. I think it limits your win whenever you try to do the hedge. And just like, I think the car insurance is a good analogy. I don't think you ever get back your true potential for whatever little money.
Long-term bad play, yeah.
It's bad play, and it's high, increased house edge with so it's, I don't know, it's just like the fees of the table go up when they jump on the hedging on that. And again, what are you, if you've got that money out there you're trying to protect, maybe you shouldn't be gambling with money that you need to protect. You know what I mean? To me, just like gamble less or lower the amounts on there. Because
that's true. That's why I was talking about earlier about the pass line bet, like 10, 15. I'm never hedging that, right? Neither are you.
It's 15.
25. I'm 100.
500.
500. Now I'm like, I'm a little sweaty. Maybe, it's only this much for insurance. Maybe I should, because I don't want to lose it on one roll, Jim.
Yeah.
So it is personality based. I think a lot of it's a lot of mental. It is not a winning. You're never going to hedge your way to a win. Ultimately, let me see if I.
Well, I mean, you said there were a couple ways that you could. But even then, it's not.
But not
100%.
overall, like the math,
Yeah.
like the math
Oh,
overall, long
long-term.
term.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
no,
going to
no,
work out.
no.
Yes, and so that's where I kind of like, because we don't play long term. We play on the weekend. We play for 3 hours. So you know what? If you threw in that hedge and it worked twice, and you didn't lose it, 8 or 12 out of 36 times, hey, the hedge was a smart play, right?
Right.
It just depends on how the dice go at the time. But like, sure, if you look back on your session and the hedge wasted you, you played it 10 times and you lost it all 10 times, maybe you can figure it out. But how much is your peace of mind worth? Like the guy earlier mentioned. So yeah, I don't mind people doing it because we play a short-term game. So long-term, yeah, you really shouldn't do it. But on the other hand, it's like, if it gives you peace of mind and it works out in the short term, how can I argue with that?
Yeah, I listen. I don't do it for my personality, and there's a lot of people
Except for
who
the
like it,
ATS.
except for the ATS mentally, but I never do it. But that
Okay,
is the
well, there
one
you go.
time- That is the one time you should do it, though, right? I mean,
I don't think
so.
should. I don't think
Okay.
should. I think it just comes down to decision.
Okay.
But
But I
do you
mean,
want to gamble?
mathematic- One in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? Because it's basically a 2-to-1. Isn't that the old adage? One in the hand is worth two in the bush. 400
right.
in hand's better than 1,000.
But again, we're at a gambling game. Like, if you don't want to lose your $25 pass line bet, don't make it.
Gamble. Yeah, don't gamble.
I mean, we're gambling. So do you want to win $900 or do you want to win $420? It's like, or $400. Like, sure, consider yourself locked in your hand, $400, or playing nothing and just walk away. I don't know.
Like I said, I think it depends on what's happened previously. Like if you've been wiped out or you're down to your last, whatever.
That's real short-term history. I've mentioned, or you've mentioned, both of us, of long-term history. Man, all year long, I always lose on the 4 or whatever. But yeah, the last 30 minutes, dang, I'm down. Could alter your decision. Dang, I'm trying this strategy that starts with $100 don't, and I've been knocked off it twice. Do you hedge it now? Well, I just got knocked off of it twice.
Well, next time you're due, right?
Yeah. Well, no, right?
I don't know.
So that's
It could be the
short
third.
term.
Again, each roll of the dice is independent.
Yeah. To each his own, I guess. I mean, it's definitely. I'm going to say there's no right or. I will say there is a right answer long term mathematically, and that would be don't hedge. But I certainly can't convince you that you're doing the wrong thing whenever we're playing a short term game over a couple hours. It just, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm not gonna fault you if you hedge, but
no, to me it's just so much stuff going on. I've seen so many strategies that are like, do this, hedge with this, hedge with that, hedge with this, and you're betting 30 minutes. It takes 30 minutes to get all the bets booked. And you're working the poor dealer to death, and then your money's all gone, and you don't even have any money to tip the dealer. It's just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, sometimes simple is better, but it is fun. Part of the game is you can do all that crazy stuff to, you've got $200 out there on the board, and your maximum win potential is $10. Because of all your hedges of hedges. If you want to play that way, knock yourself out. I guess.
Go for it. Again, if you're playing for time, you're playing for comps.
Yeah,
totally understand that.
Different
world.
Yeah, different goal.
Oh, absolutely. So
anything else that we didn't cover on the subject?
Well, I was getting ready. I don't see anything else that we had on here. Summing it up, it says, hedging strategies can offer some safety and maybe even a little comfort, but it's at a cost, and it's always at the cost of your potential winnings of that session and long term if you're playing. Any other final thoughts on hedging before we get to the monster roll?
No, I think we covered up, and we'll see if other people have other things to add to it that maybe change your mind. But yeah, to me, I don't know.
So to hedge or not to hedge, are you hedging? Do you typically hedge a lot?
No. No. Well, I do on cruise ships. I do this. I do kind of a don't or a lay forward
The
play.
light and darkness thing.
Yeah, the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, I'm betting opposite. I'm trying to equal half my bets don't, half my bets on the light side, and kind of washes out a little bit.
Okay.
So it lowers my volatility, but it significantly, if I have a good roll, it lowers my win potential. So
would you rather
price I pay?
You're doing it to win the cruise versus winning money?
Yeah, at the cruise, I'm all about time at table.
Okay.
And large bets and time at table. So my average bet per hour. Where at a casino, I just don't feel like the comps are worth playing that way. So there, I'd rather win 500 than spend 5 hours, 3 hours with my average bet being $200. I don't care. I'd rather my average bet be 30, and if a monster roll hits, I take advantage of it, press my bets, and win. Walk out with 500.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
I'm
different goal.
I'm the same way. I don't hedge, but if you want to hedge and it's your money, like I said, light or dark side, not to each his own. Everybody can do whatever you want to do at the table, and I'm pulling for everybody. So, but anyway, that's all.
Makes the game great. The game great.
The camaraderie. Yeah.
Game great is there's a lot of options. So whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I would be stupid to say that's a bad idea. You should do that because it's gambling. It's all a bad idea, right?
Exactly. It's a bad idea to walk into casino.
Right. Exactly. Unless you're the owner, it's a bad idea probably.
Yeah.
But it's certainly fun, and especially when we win. So
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into the monster roll, right? And see what the folks out there have to say. I know we got a few viewers out here.
Yeah. You going to go to the top or I'll go to the top, you go to the bottom?
Yeah, whatever you want.
All right, I'll do that.
We don't have mass amounts here.
Yeah, we don't. So Gio from Buffalo.
Hello, Naomi. Checking in. My sister from Facebook.
Yep. That's nice. And I wonder if she came in under my feet or your feet. Because he had 2 invites. She probably is the only person who got both of them.
Question, I don't know.
Yeah. There you go. Let's see. So we got some folks. I was early with the mic.
Here, let me pull up. This is a great one. Tom Marcos says, isn't it great how the game is all figured out? Casinos love hedging play. Everything is in their favor.
Everybody. Yeah.
To them, because they certainly play the long-term game. So they're like, you want to buy insurance at 11, 13% house edge? We're all for it.
Do it.
Yeah, the game is perfected mathematical wise. And yeah, you're right. They certainly love all play, and they especially love hedging play. So.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to go to a couple of them. Yeah, Tom also had the comment earlier that it was a bleed over time. The longer you play it, the hedge is definitely a bleed over time.
Yeah, the math shows that, but I mean,
but that's you're trying to buy yourself
peace
some
of
time
mind,
at the table.
buy time. Yeah, that next roll when that hedge works, it works. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got out here.
This is an interesting comment to me. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Walpon, but he said maybe stop thinking short term, especially if you're in the game long term. To me,
stop thinking short term, especially if you.
I don't know if as players we ever are in the game long term. Like I don't know how much. It certainly is probably wise to bet lower house edge bets and play the long-term math, but it doesn't increase your chances of winning. It increases your chance of losing less over time. So, but if you're playing every day, a couple hours a day, I mean, I guess you're a long-term player, but I don't know, a couple hours, even if you go once a week, I don't know if you ever catch that long-term math. Like it's hard to consider itself a long-term game.
That's a real big philosophical question.
Yeah, it's a philosophical question. It's like, where does it become long term? I can say the casino does because
What if it's all long term?
24. Yeah. What if it's all long term? What if you die tomorrow? You'd be better off going all
Hedging?
in or hedging
Yeah.
and not playing the smart bets, right? Just
Exactly.
bet for jackpots all the time. So, I mean,
Oh.
yeah, when does short term end and long term start is the magical question. I can tell you the casino plays long term because they're 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yes.
So certainly they'll take your 1% and be happy with it because
Thank you. And they'll pay it. If they have
and
to
they'll
pay
be happy. Yeah, they'll
pay
pay it.
you out a couple $100 while they take $400 or $500 from everybody else at the table.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
That's,
how many. I don't. We're going to have a pit manager on the show soon,
Yes.
and it'd be interesting to know if they've ever had a losing year, a losing month, even.
Well, I bet you we could look at some casinos, and now it might
Some
not
have
be,
shut down, so
but
I
it
don't
might
know
be
with
from
other
operations.
mismanagement.
Mismanagement, operational things, but the actual operation of the casino, as long as they didn't have way too many employees or paid them way too much, which will never happen, but
Right.
mismanagement, that would be something else to think about.
Spend too much on marketing and doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
But like the games themselves, like I wonder if they've ever have like a losing month.
Let's see. This one here, he says, Jim, living in Vegas, do you drive to the casinos most of the time? No, actually, I'm in Virginia. So I'm not driving to any. I have one very close to me. So it's the only one full permanent one that's open right now in Virginia at its permanent location. And I've only been out there twice in a year and a half or whatever it's been open. Going on 2 years in January. All right.
Did you ask why do people pair the 5 and 9 and the 6 and 8 when making their place bets, Jim?
I guess they're just getting on both sides of this pyramid that's behind me.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to balance it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's
That's a good
lot of
question.
time called sister numbers.
Yes.
But the math is the same odds and probabilities, same payouts.
Mm-hmm.
But why necessarily do people tend to go with like those matching?
Well, I know with the 6 and 8, they love the idea of 10 combinations.
Mm-hmm.
Ganging up on the 7, right? So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the 5 and 9, the 4 and 10. It's just
Right.
people like
Symmetry.
balance, symmetry.
Symmetry.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So
like symmetry. Yeah. Let's see.
it looks like my wife has landed in Hawaii.
Aloha.
Yeah.
That means hello. and
Hello,
also
goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Maybe what we could do is get Mrs. Color up with Brian with Hawaiian crap shooters. Now that could be go to his table, his Patreon table, and go hang out over there.
She's been going there a lot lately. So
Yeah.
she's on the Big Island. I'm not sure what island he's on.
We'll have to find out.
I think he's in Honolulu. Is he in Honolulu, whatever island
I
that
don't
is?
know. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, Hawaii's complicated to me, at least outsiders. But
Oh, here's one we missed earlier when they were talking about the world bet. Pressing the world bet is a popular independent bet. For those of you who don't know, the world bet is what? The 7s plus all the craps numbers, right?
7, 11,
2,
and
3,
craps.
12.
Yeah, it covers all the come out situations. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and essentially you win money in any of the numbers, and if you roll a 7, the world bet pushes.
Okay.
So if you make like a $10 world bet, 7's a push. Any other the numbers you win different amounts.
Okay.
But so people like to do that.
And our buddy Jeff at Mid-Atlantic Craps, if you're still around, Jeff, hello. One of our club members, and also has his own channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
runs a show.
Yeah. Nice.
Well,
one.
he doesn't host anymore, but I think his channel does. And
Yeah,
he's very
he
involved,
does some live does some live rolls, and everything he does is top quality. And I really enjoy watching him over there. Let's see.
Shu asked the math about hardway bets worth it or just a fun bet. Anything in the middle, the math is just bad. So you're talking 9% an 11% house edge on those things. They're taking a huge cut if you win. They take it all if you lose. Long term, it's a bad bet. It's certainly a fun bet. Yeah, people use it as a way to hedge. It's not a good bet mathematically. If you're asking what the math says,
you had a video not too long within the last year about hard ways, and I think you said if you did it at the $1 level,
cost per hour.
So that's what it was. That's what it was. Cost per hour.
Analyzed all the bets at a cost per hour basis. And the hard ways actually are a great bet for cost per hour. Like at a $10 table, if you keep it at $1, because it's not a one roll bet. So they stay up, and sometimes
Until
they win,
resolved, right.
Sometimes they lose. So even factoring in the house edge, the cost per hour is significantly lower, and it's even lower than like a pass line bet, because the problem with the pass line bet is
on the first roll
they cost $10
yeah
on a $10 table. And so the field bet is the most expensive because it's a one roll bet and it's $10. So the churn rate on that sucker is massive.
yeah
Whereas, I think that even like a bet on the yo or something, terrible bet by itself, but you could do it for just $1. You can make 10 of those before you equal one field bet of $10. So after 10 rolls, you've bet $100 on the field. After 10 rolls, you've bet $10 on the yo. So cost per hour,
it adds up in a quick kind of way with the field bets.
But the hard way is not so much. So if you're throwing in $1, it's not going to cost you much. It's a cheap way to play and a fun bet. Yes, mathematically, not great, but it's so cheap when you're playing per hour. That's why a lot of people play that bet. Because when it hits, and hey, we're all about beating the probability in the math. So if there are more hard ways than should happen, if you get more than 1 out of every 36, you're in the money.
Yeah.
If you could get 2 hard way 6s out of every 36, hey, it's gonna be a profitable night. So
now here's one that just popped up. I'm at the bottom here with Tom again. He says pressing the world bet a hedge on the come out roll or pass line game sometimes becomes a purposeful bet if it's an independent bet if you play with the winnings. So
yeah, I think I covered a strategy recently from a YouTuber who utilizes the world bet, and initially it's a hedge bet.
Okay.
Against, the crap numbers and that. But if it hits, it pays for itself and they can increase it. So if it hits again, now it becomes a profit machine.
Right.
Ed roll to win. Thank you, Demon Dog. But yeah, a lot of people will use the world bet to initially it's a hedge, but then it can, if it hits multiple times, it becomes like a profit machine. Just like, anything, if you press it and it keeps hitting, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's kind of like a hybrid. It's a hedge, but it's also can be an independent play, I think is what he's saying. So
let's see.
I don't know why this is giving me a warning. I do remember it's like warning we're past 1 hour. I don't know if we're still live on Facebook. I think Facebook said it may shut off after an hour. I don't know. I think we're still online.
Okay. So what was the warning for this platform?
Oh, I thought it was warning, but I had it selected.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was anything.
Oh, we come full circle on the comments.
Yeah, I think we've got everything. I feel bad that we kind of messed up our first 5 minutes again, though.
It always happens. Yeah, it always happens.
We were off to a slow start to begin with.
Yeah.
Super Bowl picks, Jim?
Yeah. Super Bowl
got
picks.
Miami and Cleveland? Probably not now without Tua.
Well, no Tua, not going to go anywhere. But with that,
did you answer who is the backup? Who do you have?
Yeah, it's Skylar Thompson.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, he played last year.
Okay.
He played in the playoff game the year he got hurt, against
Okay.
Buffalo. Almost won that one, I think.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. No,
I think-
Naomi's still on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. So
Hey,
Facebook must still be
yeah.
running.
Still be running. Yep,
Thank you
still
for
on
that feedback.
Facebook. Yeah. Awesome. So as far as the Super Bowl goes, right now I'm saying if it's not going to be Miami, go with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I know, man. Some people don't like them, but I've got a.
Well, I don't like
former-
them just because they win, right? I hate
a
when they
former
win.
Ocean Lakes Dolphins on the team. We got to pull for them. But anyway, that would be from the AFC. As far as the NFC, if you would have asked me before today's game, I would have said, "Hey, San Francisco," because look at what they did to the Jets, and they got all these weapons. And then today, they stunk it up.
I'm not a believer.
No. Okay. Not a Brock Purdy fan.
No, not a believer. I think it's good system, but that's about it. I think they can roll anyone in there, and they'll win most of their games.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd love to see like a Detroit, Cleveland, like the world's crappiest teams get in there, but I don't think that's the thing. And then today, Detroit lost to. I'm a closet Tampa Bay fan now because Baker Mayfield went there,
Right.
And I love that guy, and I wish Cleveland had gotten rid of him. And he's just down there, just winning games, and they had a crappy team, but he still took them to the playoffs supposedly last year. And this year they 2-0, and they just beat Detroit, which is a top team, and whoo, Baker's
Doesn't
on
make
fire.
any sense. Yeah, it is. That's what it is in the NFL, though. You get there. Hey, one last thing on the craps before we go. Joe put this up earlier, and I missed it out. Can you give him a brief explanation of the hedgehog? You remember that one?
Correct answer is the Bills. Yeah, the hedgehog. I reference that a lot now, and it's actually become one of my standards at the end of my video. So I show the 3-point molly, 3-point dolly, and the hedgehog now. And the hedgehog is a strategy from Michael Shackelford.
Okay.
So mathematician, a lot of casinos use them. And it's just he calculated probably the lowest volatility way to play.
All right.
And it's the hedgehog system. So I made the video about the hedgehog. All it is alternating bets. Pass line, don't come, don't come, don't come.
Really?
Just alternate forever.
Okay. And that's it.
And when you chart it, that sucker doesn't go anywhere. Every once in a while, you'll get a string of like come out wins, or you'll get a string of come out losses or something. But overall, like every time it's at the end of my videos and I show it like in the Dicer app, that sucker will not lose much, but it will not win much. So that's the hedgehog. It's just alternating. It's not truly a hedge because you're not. It's not like a pass line goes to a 6 and then or a don't and then you lay the 6 or whatever.
You're not laying the 6. You just let the numbers.
Just
follow the dice
But you're betting opposite, so it is kind of a hedge, but it's not a hedge. It's
you're
unique.
betting opposite of whatever. It doesn't matter what the other number was before it.
Yeah.
So it's just literally
come and don't come and don't come over
That's it.
over and over again wherever they travel. So eventually all the numbers are going to get filled up, and either you're going to roll your come bets back or you're going to roll the 7 and all your don't comes win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it decides, like, once you got 6 bets up there, are you going to be a winner or a loser? Well, it just depends on how many repeated in the come or how many times you won in the don't come. So it's a very unique system. It could be very boring. And certainly it's something that I said I'm going to try at my next cruise, right? Because I think I could just bet $25 back and forth. Boring as heck, but I might be able to play for 4 hours and lose $50.
Wow. Yeah.
You can lay odds, but then you just increase your volatility. So like with the hedgehog, after an hour, you may win 20. And if you added odds, you may, instead of win 20, you win 100. Or if you lose and then don't lay odds, you may lose 100. It's just going to increase your volatility anytime you lay odds. It's laying or taking odds just increases volatility. It doesn't affect your main bet.
And then
I read it and didn't put it up.
Yeah, that comment is there.
Yeah, I think that is a great comment to end on.
Exactly. That's why I pulled it up.
Yeah, all right. It is getting late. You got things to do.
Oh, yeah. Got to get up, go to school in the morning. So I think it's a good topic. Hedging. Not for me, but
Sorry, I don't have a decisive. Yeah,
maybe
it's
for
it's
thee.
up to you. Yeah,
it's up
maybe
to you.
for thee.
Yeah, maybe for thee.
All right, you guys have a good night, and until next time, good luck on Coloring Up.
Bye.
See you.